For most of us, the more intelligent we are, the more we seem to be blown off. The more people believe that we can do it ourselves, and we can, absolutely, given the right environment. This environment ain't it. We're at a kid's park, alright? First of all, I don't want to be here, alright? That's for every single one of y'all. I don't want to be here. Second of all, I'm going to show you what's right outside of my door here. So I hear an officer coming up behind me. How did I hear him coming up behind me? He announced himself because Charlie and Tiffany were parked right there. They were blocking me in for a bit, but I'm not the one that called him in. Anyway, if I had, I'd have bragged about it, if that's what you want to call it. And, well, we're at a kid's park. This is a kid's park. All right, I'm going to show you what's right outside of my door. Okay, I had to get out and go pee. See most of that broken glass? I'm gonna show you the big piece. See, this is a kid's park, kind of like over at the Safeway. I pick up all sorts of nastiness. This is Lillian A. Goodspeed Park. This is gross, and there's got to be an appropriate way to get rid of this crap. Let me tie my shoe. Now, if you've paid attention to my channel, you've seen that there's a lot of druggies that do their thing here. Can we please have an appropriate place for them to oh my god, that's fucking nasty. Anyway, I put it in there with a piece of bacon. I can't eat bacon. That's right, Tillamook, Oregon. You know what that is. I find needles, I let people know, or in this particular case, I wasn't gonna touch it. This is seriously your town. There you go. You'd think that the cop would have, I don't know, seen it? Does him not have eyeballs? There's a lady here named Jamie, and there's a video with her where she messed around with the boys. Because I'm homeless, a lot of homeless people come up to me and offer me drugs. And when I'm recording, you can hear them doing it. But they don't always do it while I'm recording. I'm grossed out by all the drugs. There are a lot of parents here strung out. People are doing their drugs in the parks here in small towns in America now. It ain't just in the movies anymore. You have no idea how many times I've been out here. I am freezing. I'm scared of my environment. You know, here's the thing, is that I need to be removed from public, not because I am a danger to anyone else, but because people make assumptions and they do things based on their assumptions. And much of that today is based on looks, and many people have rage, so much rage, and they just want someone to take it out on that they're allowed to take it out on, and you found somebody you can do that with. That doesn't make it okay. The number of times I've been called the N-word in the last week. I'm used to that. Chapel, Nebraska wasn't any different. Life sure changed there. Yeah. It's funny how a whole small town full of people, well, most of them magically stopped using the N-word. Not all of them. They're like, be careful. Schwartz might be recording. Yeah. Yeah. I needed to be put somewhere that I could defragment, and I needed to have access to my loved ones. Those are two things that were taken away from me because of slander and because of doing what I was told to do by the professionals. There's numbers all over my YouTube here of people who are mad at me. I got the evidence of why. They'll never admit to it. But you can call those people. Put me somewhere. I can't take care of myself. I'm scared of everyone. A lot of you guys, when you hear sounds go by, right? Like maybe a car drives by. Most of you stay monotone. Well, monovolume. And no matter what, I can't hear over that. I must be going through puberty. All right, so I'm scared, folks. People are the most dangerous when they're scared. And antagonizing people when they're scared is fucking horrible. All right, I have heard the N-word so many times. I have been beaten up by so many different colors of people, including my own. Any excuse would do. If someone's parents taught them that it was okay to beat up homosexuals, then they'd just, if they want to beat you up, they'd use that three-letter F word. And then magically it's okay to beat you up in their own mind. This is them justifying it in their own mind. I'm stuck in a really messed up world that I don't belong in. I don't belong here with none of y'all. We don't have anything in common. Nothing at all. For you guys, when there's an emergency, you get heard. For us, when there's an emergency, people get bored. We are really good at catching people outright, but nobody likes the mystery when it's already figured out. You guys want to figure it out on your own. Well, maybe pay attention. Maybe look at actual evidence. Maybe listen to some of the stuff that I click up. Actual conversations with actual witnesses. You guys are hoping for actual witnesses in Natalie Bollinger's death. No, dude. Fucking, I didn't have no goddamn thing to do with that. But we all need to take responsibility for that. All of us. Every one of us. Not just hers. Human lives are precious, and out here you learn that quick. But also, there's a lot of people that harden up and they just don't care. Oh, well. So somebody died? Yeah, and? I went to my friends. That's who I went to. They say to go to friends and family. Well, I don't have any family. I have relatives, and most of them are not people I want to know. Except my Aunt Marcy. She's pretty cool. You get hard pressed to find somebody who's been threatened as many times as I have. The stuff that people did to me before Natalie died that I was told were not threats, or I was told it was, yeah, it's a threat, but it's freedom of speech. And nobody cared. They were all busy pushing housing, but once I was in housing, did that make it so I could see my friends and family? No. Matter of fact, the friends and family that I had in Chapel, Nebraska who hadn't moved out were, well, not in good shape. A lot of the same people there doing the same drugs. Alan Bain up there still smoking that stuff. See, here's the thing. I gotta deal with people who just want to assume horrible shit and do horrible shit. That's pretty standard for the homeless. I get given my situation why people would assume schizophrenia and drug use. But that's the problem with being overwhelmed, is that you can't just leave me out here in public. Okay, you can't force me to do all of this stuff that you're telling me to do. You have to put me somewhere. There are options that are cheaper for the state than prison or jail. But if that's all you guys can come up with, put me there and leave me there. I'm tired of people being mean. I'm tired of them hurting each other. I'm tired of taking time out of my day to help people immediately who can't find the time in 4 weeks. Now, I do believe that there's a time for war, but I don't believe this is it. I don't believe that that is the solution. A lot of people really hate the government right now, especially poor people. And everything in my life worth having was taken away. My older brother, Zyler, and Natalie were my 3 favorite people ever. I don't want to be here. I don't want to record things. But there's a reason I record things. It's because people are not trustworthy. I can't take care of myself. I've paid a lot of money for help that just never arrived. Or arrived so late that there was no need. I made the Guitar Use Case account to beg for help. I made the God, what was that account? There was one right after Joanna Taylor Smith was trying to talk me into making a new account and telling me that she would make Natalie and Alicia Bollinger's life hell and Maddie Bowes too if I ended my existence. And I couldn't find anybody to be my legacy to turn it off. So at the time, Facebook wouldn't let me destroy it, and nobody could help me figure out how to do it. The evidence is still there, same as now. Evidence of child molesters and rapists in my Facebook, in our messenger, from the victims themselves. Evidence on my YouTube, from the mouths of the victims themselves, the screenshots. Hundreds. I don't know how many of y'all. I just got bombarded with people who said they were going to help, and then it's just one situation with child abuse after another, and I'm like, oh my God, like what do I do? These people are telling me they're going to help me, and I'm listening to all of their problems, and this is stuff that I can't keep a secret. None of this stuff that happened in Tillamook should have happened in Tillamook. It should have been handled professionally in Hood River the first time. When police slander your name and people hurt you over it, it sucks. If you want to send me to the state hospital, do it, and just make sure I stay there. Don't ever let me out. You want to put me in low-income housing, then do it. But do it now, because I am freaking the fuck out. I can't function. I got a bunch of papers in the back that I can't fill out because I can't function. I'm not talking just physically, I mean mentally. I am overwhelmed all the time. And trying to explain to people that I am mentally overwhelmed all the time, they try to make it a comparison, pissing contest of whose life is worse than whose. I can't work. I can't function. I can speak, and that magically makes it okay to hurt me all of a sudden, right? Oh, that's been the way it is my entire life. People assume that Asperger's means that I'm stupid and should be wearing a football helmet and don't know no better. People were threatening to kill my loved ones, and I did everything that I could to try to take care of it peacefully and without any death. But y'all just wasn't having it. You send me out here to the wolves, and you tell me to take care of myself. And I was able to do that for a while because I had some people to watch my back. So literally, I was not taking care of it myself. I had people that I knew and loved in real life in Boulder, Colorado, and I protected everybody. Old people, young people, short people, fat people, tall people, skinny people, ugly people, pretty people. It didn't matter. I'm overwhelmed and I'm here fleeing abuse. My evidence shows that I'm the victim, but I was never allowed to show that in court because of the mentally ill tag. Meanwhile, people want to accuse me of killing people. Look at who killed Natalie Bollinger. It was not me. It was Joseph Michael Lopez, and he is serving 48 years in prison. You pretend that I bullied Natalie to suicide. No, she and her friends bullied me to suicide. But instead of trying to do that, what did I do? I tried to get help. I wanted to be able to see my friends and my loved ones, people who are sober, and I know this sounds counterintuitive, but most of them were in Boulder. Most of the people I know in Nebraska, they're either alcoholics or strung out on meth. We ain't got nothing in common. Same with these rednecks here. I can agree that I don't belong here, but I need you to take a good, long, hard look at how much money you've spent in man hours. Look how much money has been spent to send me around in circles. And look what happened to Natalie Bollinger when officers wanted to spin me around in circles and send me to other jurisdictions. Not be direct about who I need to call. And then, of course, all these different places have different stories. You should know what the agencies that you're sending people to actually do. And you should know whether or not that place is actually doing it. I'm not allowed any sort of autonomy. I don't have any freedom in my decisions. It's because I try to do the right thing. I guess I might have rambled there while my thing was off. I got social anxiety disorder, and that's not because I'm a jerk. It's because people are mean to me and bully me a lot. And I was really nice for a lot of years. A lot of years. But when I hurt my back in 2015, that was the end of it. I'd known a lot of people who had back problems that went crazy, and it didn't make no sense to me. It's a back problem. I'd had backaches before. It ain't the same. It really ain't the same. I hurt a lot all the time. It's hard to think over the pain. Plus, I have to try to hide the fact that I have Tourette syndrome, because as soon as I start winking and blinking, people start assuming I'm a druggie or a friggin' chimo, and I don't want that. I don't want people to be afraid for their kids. Now, if Tillamook don't want me to reside here, I can understand that. But you shouldn't have victimized me out of everything when I first got here, and then run me through the gamut, costing a whole lot of taxpayer dollars to get nothing done. I can't function. You need to put me somewhere. I tried telling all my friends after I left Virginia, hey, I am not the same dude. Okay, I am not the same dude. Y'all threw me away when I needed a friend the most. Made empty promises. And Natalie Bollinger's the one that came through, not any of the rest of you. I barely knew Natalie Bollinger. The only reason she was talking to me is because she had a crush on me. Ain't no reason for that. I'm old and ugly. Can I just be old and ugly? Please? There's a reason I choose to not be pretty. I don't want to be the apple of your eye. I don't want to be your boyfriend. I don't want to be your girlfriend. I don't want to be your trans friend. Y'all gotta put me somewhere. You know I got a big mouth. You know I can't stop talking when I'm scared like this. Everyone I know knows that. You know, your friends and family know your quirks the best, don't they? They know exactly the right way to push your buttons. So they've known you for a while. They know exactly what they're doing. For me, if I wanted any sort of a life, I had to scrounge from the worst fucking shitty areas of the world. Not literally. No, I'm stuck in the United States where everything's expensive. Thank goodness there's garbage. And I thought of 1,000,001 things to do with garbage. A lot of those things later came out. Anyway, moral of the story. Y'all can feel free to get a hold of the FBI and let them know that I exist and that I'm scary. That'll work, right? If you guys call them, because I'll just get talked over. Tell them I admitted to making an illegal AR-15 and that you believe it. And you should. I actually have the key to the box that it's in. The key is with me now. And that's so the guy whose house it's at doesn't get in trouble for it, because he doesn't have a key to it. But it is in jeopardy, and it needs to be turned in. Kind of like that whole situation with your kids calling me the N-word in town and using a bullhorn. Yep, I did record that. I get that you guys don't want to be recorded. Well, I don't want to be targeted by crazy people. I don't want to have to go to places where I gotta sit with people who have been predatory with me over and over again. I don't want to have to see my predators. Here's the thing, you don't go running around treating somebody like a pedophile if they ain't a pedophile. You don't go running around claiming somebody stalked you when they did what you wanted them to. And you don't call somebody friend if you're going to look the other way instead of helping your friend turn it in right away, especially when there are children's lives at stake. That's the most disgusting part. It's not that I don't have the evidence, it's that I don't have the ability to function. Please take the evidence. And take me too. Because there ain't none of y'all that are sober. They're willing to help. I gotta depend on alcoholics and drug addicts. It doesn't mean that I don't do drugs. It's guilt by association. And of course, I've been sent to services where volatile drug addicts go to hang out. I can't handle any of this. I need to not be here. When I'm in a state of crisis, I'm having a hard enough problem speaking without you talking over me. When you ask me a question, you're going to have to let me answer it. And it might take a minute because I'm thinking about a lot of things at once. You have no idea how extraordinary my brain is. A lot of you guys don't understand how extraordinary yours are. When somebody tells you dude's a bad guy and you just go at him. The reason I was afraid for Jamie is because of her previous history with James. And of course, how does it all go down? You just say, oh, well, you're just angry because she told you no. Like, are you kidding me? No to what? I wasn't trying to have sex with any of them. I was trying to understand why sex boils everyone's brains. I wanted to know why Kristen Kepler went fucking apeshit on me. Like, why do girls do that to boys they have a crush on? She had a bunch of... All right, I wrote for the Chapel newspaper, right? Not the Buffalo... Or no, the Buffalo Chip, which is the school newspaper. Anyway, Kristen Kepler had a big crush on me. She had pictures that she had taken of me with my shirt off. She had a whole bunch of articles that are written by me taped up in her locker, and a bunch in a see-through purse. It was like a whole Sean Schwartz fan club all wrapped up in one. But she was super nice, and I'd have dated her, I thought. Like, she had all that going on, and then she'd come over to the house and she'd say she wanted to hang out with my little sister, and then she'd come hang out with me because my little sister wanted to crawl around on all fours and bark like a dog, and these girls were going through puberty. Tara really wasn't. And then there was Amanda Daniels, and my little sister yelled at me about her coming over to my room all the time. There's some of my friends that, if anyone goes looking through my history, they'll get to see some of the evidence of them telling me to off myself in the most courageous of fashion. Yes, that's bullying someone. Literally, when you're telling someone to go kill themselves, you're bullying them to do so. There are also acts and activities that are scary as hell. The bullying that I had to endure from Boulder Police Department, that right there was the real kicker. That's what prevented me from getting any sleep. Police just not leaving me the hell alone. Just let me sleep. Just let me sleep. Natalie Bollinger rescued me from that. The last time that I was happy, you know why I was happy? Cops weren't fucking with me. Cops were not fucking with me. She took me in my backpack to my storage so I could take my backpack off and unload some of the weight. Made it almost manageable so I could walk more than a block. Josh Hughes kept promising me that he was going to help me. But then when he'd show up, he was all messed up. My dad thought I was just going to magically get disability at 18, but he never helped me get disability at 18, so I always got blown off. And then he wanted to treat me like it was my fault. No, Dad, you have to actually be involved. You actually have to help to get that paperwork transferred from when you're a kid to when you're an adult. You need your parents' help with that. Your parents are supposed to know your diagnoses and how it works, not just how to exploit it because you watched Rain Man. Then there's friends like Kayla Trujillo, aka Miss Peaches, aka Lilithu Sophia Krishnadas. That's her Facebook profile. So when I speak about her, I speak about her using 3 different names. I tried to keep her real name a secret because she was going to help turn it in and she was going to tell the truth, and she just had to find time. Or at least that's what she said. She was going to help me, she was going to help me, she was going to help me. I had to try to utilize my cash wisely and try to go see her and set up appointments for around the days that I had to go have court so that it was close enough for me to visit and not run out of money. Because I still had to go to more court dates. Over a murder I didn't even commit. I don't know if Natalie ever realized how mean people were really being to me. I don't know if it ever actually occurred to her how many people had assaulted me, how many people had threatened to kill me, how many people had threatened to kill my family. And nobody stopped to think about what kind of a mental effect it had on me that nobody cared. They just wanted to stuff me in a little shoebox in the corner and forget about me. Like, what the fuck? You hear about people with Asperger's and old people having a lot of the same issues with talking too much. Because they're so excited to have somebody that they can talk to. Sometimes nurse comes in for a few minutes, but other than that, not really. And I'm not in infirmed care. But you guys can obviously see where keeping me out here is a bad idea. You can also see that I'm not going to shut up. Wouldn't it be a better idea if we could, I don't know, take all of that evidence and actually get it turned into where it needs to go? I get that you guys want me to do it all myself. The problem is I can't. It's not that I'm not trying. When you guys say you can't, you don't try. When I can't, it's because I have tried. I already know what happens if I go in alone. I already know how homeless people are treated, how disabled people are treated out here on the streets, how easy it is to take advantage of us. You can't go to the cops because they don't care. Well, there's no place to put me now. Low income in Chapel. That was, basically it was the old folks home up there. It was the, assisted living. That's right, my disabilities made it so that I got assisted living. I was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease after Natalie was killed. The mental disabilities place here sent me to the physical disabilities place, who sent me back to the mental disabilities place. None of them did their job as adult protective services, and I can't function. Y'all understand when I'm screaming, I'm fucking scared shitless? I already know that I could be arrested for disturbing the peace, but who else would be? So we're gonna rename this. I need to not be here. I need to not be here. I need to be kept safely away from people. And that'll give people peace of mind. Why can't you do that? Why can't you give yourselves peace of mind by helping to put me somewhere now? I just want my loved ones to be safe, and they're not safe as long as I'm out here. People will make any excuse to be bullies. You know they will. I got a lot of stuff up in the mountains. I wasn't able to take it up there myself. I had to spend a lot of money for help. The best helpers that I had were free. But it took a long time to get them to take that time. Oh, thank goodness for Jason Scudder. He was quick. And them two folks up there by my camp, it was one of their old camps, but they helped me carry my stuff there. And, I didn't realize it was as far back as it was. The way he was describing it, I was thinking maybe 10 foot back in there, and I could probably handle that a few trips, reasonably. I pace, and that scares people. I stem when I'm extremely scared by curling up into myself and rocking back and forth, my wrists against my chest, making funny noises, and people make fun of me for that, online and in real life. I've had people hurt me pretty bad doing that, but not so bad that I had to go to the hospital. Hospitals just want to believe what an officer tells them. And that's the thing that sucks about Officer Scott DaCosta, Officer Amanda Jonas, and Officer Burke. These people are not qualified to diagnose schizophrenia. Marcia Strada is. The people who tried to diagnose me as schizophrenic were people that I was trying to turn in. Someone needs to call them up with me, and that person needs to tell them to take it seriously. I mean, right now I'm in Oregon, and I worry every single day about a possible school shooting or church shooting in Chapel, Nebraska, with a gun that I made. And with all the bells and whistles on it, yeah, I could probably get life in prison just off of that one firearm. But anybody take that seriously? No. If he kills somebody with it, well, y'all are screwed. Then there's people like Kayla Trujillo. She even sent me some pictures and diagrams on how to end my life with helium. And then I tried it out at Chapel Lake. And it didn't work. And Brandon Jeffson was so mean to me when it didn't work, I wanted to try it again. But I couldn't get the nozzle to work. It had been too hot and it was warped, and I was sure that it was out. It wasn't. There was more in it. But it was balloon helium and it doesn't work. I didn't know that at the time. The diagram that Kayla Trujillo sent me was just instructions with helium. It didn't say which type. So she'd go to prison for a long time if that would have worked. She can thank her lucky stars as a parent that it didn't work. Not that anybody would have cared. I know you all want to protect your own, but you need to do something with me. I'm sure Amanda Engeline and Rochelle Shelley Campbell and Alicia Bollinger and Rose M. Kelly and Candace Bondurant, I'm sure they can all get their heads together And you guys can get a hold of those women. They got all sorts of information. And you can help them to put me somewhere. Put me somewhere. I can't do paperwork. You can make fun of me for all that you want, but it's my environment. I'm overwhelmed and I can't function. And it has been like that since I hurt my back in 2015. Even when I was in Virginia, I wanted my life to end. But you know what? I wasn't trying to end it. I was trying to let my best friend know that she was loved. And she wasn't the only one I was trying to let know that. I didn't just say the words, I showed them. Anyway, my phone keeps dying on me. I've got nowhere to go. You know, I don't want to be parking here any more than you want me parking here. I don't want to be parking down there in Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot with all that revving up of the engines and the screaming of the racial slurs. Man, I don't want to be down there any more than you want me there. I didn't want to be stuck in the Fred Meyer's parking lot over Molly and Tom either. But it happened. I was treated like I was the villain. Now I snap at people real quick and easy. You shouldn't leave me out here after what you did to me. I'm exhausted and I need some sleep. I got a couple of short 5-minute naps sort of earlier. I can't take care of myself, and these people need to understand why instead of arguing with me. I'm getting worse because I'm scared all the time, and that does damage to the brain. But you won't acknowledge that I have any reason to be afraid, and you don't stop to realize how all of that stuff, all that screaming of that N-word, and the typing of the N-word, and the threatening my friends and family, and who's that not going to drive completely fucking nuts? If I do it once, I'm a horrible monster, aren't I? You tell me to go to the churches, they don't give a fuck, dude. I'm not a local here. If I'm victimized by a local, they're friends with that local. A lot of these people grew up with Farnsworth. They don't want him getting in trouble. The Molly situation, you know, I needed help myself, and I have traveled from one end of the country to the other, where I end up helping the people who are promising to help me. Anna Ingersoll repeatedly, when she was promising things, I got there and things weren't as she said. Instead of pretending that Natalie's death is a hyper-focus, understand that this isn't about Natalie's death. It's about the abuse that I had to endure before and still continue to have to endure to this day. I'm not allowed to have a bad day. I'm not allowed to get snappy if people are angry. But they're allowed to get that way with me. Why is that? Because you called me mentally ill? I gotta lay down for a couple of minutes. My back is killing me. There's no comfortable way to do this in here. And I hope I'm not passed out after 10. I can't function. I am afraid. The way that we're treated when we go in alone to these services is so inhumane. I was trying to get mothers of autistic kids to work together and actually speak up together for their kids. Then Joseph Michael Lopez blew Natalie Bollinger's brains out. Not okay.